Okay, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about Ant-Man today. Okay, I don't think we have anything to really talk about the first part, so let's get into it. Okay, so his name is Henry Pym. Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you there. His name is Henry Pym. I thought his name was Hank Pym. Well, not just his middle name. I thought his full name was Hank Pym, but no, his full name is Hank Henry Pym. So he creates a serum so he can shrink stuff out, shrink stuff down, like ant size, and then the chair returns the giant to normal size, giant, normal, whatever. And while the chair, oh, hold on, okay, and while the chair energizes, Henry Pym's thoughts go back to a science conversation several months ago. Bah, you're always wasting our time with your ridiculous theories, but they never work. You should stick to particle projects. Oh, no, sorry, I said particle. Uh, I meant practical projects. Now, okay, no, this is him talking. I was talking us, those guys. Now this is Hank Pym talking. Now I'll work only on things that appeal to my imagination, like my latest invention. Oh, what's that? I won't tell you yet. You would only laugh at me as you before, but when I've finished, it'll show you. You shall know I'm a greater scientist than any of you. Okay, and then he gets to working on. Okay, then he gets to work on working on his serums to the size of any object born it will be for mankind. Well, just like to shrink himself. That's what I meant to say. Okay. Then he pours the serum on himself, and then he starts to shrink. Then he says, I'm becoming smaller and smaller. It's working faster than I expected. Too fast. Okay, now he was scared and he decided he wanted to be big again. Okay. He didn't know how to get back into his house, and ants were, and he thought ants were gonna attack him. And then he started running away. Okay. And then an ant was waiting for him, and then was attacking him. And then he's like, but I have one advantage. a human brain. And then he attacks him. And then he attacks the ant. And then he finds his way out of the ant hill. And then he's having a hard time getting back up to in his house. And then he asks an ant and then he asks the ants for help. And then he's on the back of an ant walking up the wall. Then he gets back in his house. And then he's like, oh, serum. Splashes himself in it. And then he goes back to his human self. He's like, I'm normal again. And then he pours it back. And then he pours it down the drain. And then he says, now that the first thing I must do is destroy the growth potions. They're far too dangerous to ever be used by any human again. And then at the next monthly meeting of the Science Fellowship, so your experiments failed. Yes, you were right. They were just a foolish waste of time. From now on, I'll stick to practical projects. And that's the end. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Um, we're gonna continue on from Ant-Man's origin, origin, origin story, origin, whatever. Sorry. Okay, so this is the part where the ant helped him up, and he needed to get back to the enlarging syrup. And oh, sorry. Okay, I think I did that correctly. Okay, and then it says now he's at normal size. Okay, and then after after he's big again, he hides the serum away in his safe so no one can know of their existence except for him, obviously. You know, so the world could be safe and everyone's not shrinking themselves big and small and getting themselves killed. Okay, and then Hank Pym says, the more I research, the more convinced I become that the ants really do communicate through their antennas. Okay, so that's when he decides to make his own suit. Okay. And after he's done constructing his outfit, we go to the scientist. Okay, now we go to some scientists that told Hank Pym to work on some science project, and I don't know. I guess he just didn't want to do it because he was working on his aunt his aunts, and they want to do some gas immune radiation radioactive pro thing for the government, and I guess they think that Pym is the only one that can do it. Okay, and then some burglars or some bad guys come to um, Hank Pym's office, and they think that he has that anti radiation formula, and Hank Pym says he tells him that he doesn't have it. Then they say we will get it from one of your assistants. Okay, then they search around his house, and then Hank Pym is like, "Oh, I know how to stop them." And then he puts his outfit on, or costume, whatever, and he becomes the Ant Man. And he puts the serum on him again so he can be small. And then he's all like, "It's working." Then he can, and then he starts to go run and starts to go run after the bad guys. Then he makes it to the outside. Okay. So this is the most important thing I want to talk about. So his helmet helps him speak with the ants. Yeah. So he's all like, "Oh, my helmet's getting vibrations," and then, "Wait, I can feel vibrations against my helmet." And then he's all like, "Vibrations, just as I suspected." The ants' antenna, that that's how he speaks to them, do give off electronic impulses that's how they communicate with each other. But suddenly they're turning around, they're coming to this way, but how did they? Oh, no, I forgot. Okay, they think that he's an alien and try to kill him, and then he turns on his electronic impulses. Okay. Okay. So this is how so this breaks down everything how he talks to ants. And I'll kind of edit it. I'll break it down when I edit it. Okay, so the transmitter sends impulses from where on ants' frequencies. Decoder, a miniature computer that changes incoming and outgoing signals into intelligent meanings. A receiver open to vibrations from ants into an antenna. And then a shell house miniaturized electronic equipment. Okay, then they all stop, except for the big guy, except for the big ant. And then the big ant uh, keeps attacking him. And then he attack, and then, I don't know, he picks him up. So I didn't mean to say, I don't know. I meant to say he picks him up, because that's what it looks like. And then he throws him. And then he throws him. Okay, so when he took the serum, he still has the strength of a full-grown man. Okay, and then the ant comes, tries to bite him. And then he punches the ant. And now he makes them his army to help him. Then he runs into a beetle. Okay, let's. Okay, now he's on the back of the ant. And then he's all like, follow us. Okay, and then he found the bad guys. And then since Ant-Man was away, the bad guys must tied up some people. Okay, the bad guys are talking, and they say, we will blow up the laboratory behind us. Everyone will think the Americans, the unfortunate accident. And since Ant-Man's so small, he can climb in through under the window, and he can hear everything. And he starts helping the people that are roped, that are tied up. Then Ant-Man frees the people that were tied up, and then the bad guy sees Ant-Man and he starts shooting at him. Okay, and then he tells the ants what to do. And then the ants start crawling all over the bad guys. And then they start crawling all over and up his shoes and socks and stuff. And then he drops his gun. And then the bat. Okay. Then he starts trying to shoot the ants. Then the ants are just bugging the bad guys. And then the bad guys are like, oh, the ants are all over me. Okay, after the ants are too busy bugging or beating up the bad guys, Ant-Man just leaves, and then he goes and gets big again. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Okay, welcome back to Ant-Man. I'm going to talk about Ant-Man again. And it's about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Oh, sorry, it's about Wasp and her origin. Okay. Ant-Man was formerly married to this girl whose name was Maria. I had a hard time pronouncing that name. I don't know, it just looked weird. I know everyone in the comments can be like, how do you have a hard time pronouncing that name? Okay, look, it just looked weird, okay? Okay. And, they were going on their honeymoon. They get in a taxi, or try to get in a taxi, and these bad guys come along, and they end up killing his wife. Then there was a message from her. A message, America, it said that go be. It was like the same thing with like Ant-Man, like go research ants. And then as he was trying to remember what she said, go to the ants, those sluggard, those sluggard. Yes, she was right. I sit here doing nothing. Though throughout the world, criminals prowl and justice rampant, tranny, tramp. She was trying to tell him that he needs to go study ants or something like that. So like we so like we so like remember everything from Ant-Man's origin. He he made a serum that made him big, and then he made his own costume, and then he has his ants that help him get around. But we wait, cause this isn't where um this isn't where Wasp comes in yet. They were just we were just retelling the origin of Ant-Man. He looks at his helmet and says, still not enough. He wants something else. Okay, then he says, too often I have come close to defeat. I need a partner. someone to stand by, to carry on if someday I meet defeat and death. But who could I ever trust to know the secrets of the Ant-Man? Know my true identity. One day, someone came knocking. Um, oh, okay. One day, a man named Vernon Van Dyne comes knocking at Hank Pym's door, and he has answered Hank Pym's answer. Oh, sorry, he's answered his answer. That doesn't make. And then here comes walking in Hope Van Dyne. Yes, of course. Come in. This is my daughter, Janet. Oh, sorry. I said Hope by accident. I meant Janet Van Dyne. Okay. Dr. Vernon Van Dyne is a ray beam specialist. Whatever that is. And then Hank Pym says he can't help him because he specializes in molecular cell transition and molecular cell transition and cell specialization. Okay. And then they leave. Okay, and then Vernon Van Dyne sees something in the rays, and he doesn't know what it is, and then he gets transferred into it, and he's looking at like some weird, ugly alien. And then this alien's talking to him, and he says that you've unleashed me from my planet, and I'm an evil alien, and I'm gonna escape so they can never find me. That's just the gist of it. I'm not just saying that. Okay, and then Janet comes back from wherever she went to, and she finds her dad dead. It doesn't show. I'm not just saying that. I'll show you the next panel. It doesn't show. And then she calls Hank Pym, who's Ant-Man. Well, she doesn't know that. Okay, and then yes, this is Henry Pym. Janet Van Dyne. What? Your father? Oh, I'll come now. Okay, and then in comes Ant-Man. Hello, I'm Ant-Man. Perhaps you've heard of me. I've come to help you. I have heard of you, but I thought you were only a myth. My father, he's dead in his laboratory. There was a strange mist. I came in and found him. He's been murdered. Almost looks like he died of fright. There's something strange, something eerie here. I can sense it. And I suppose it was his ray machine. It's wrecked, but what kind of thing could twist and smash heavy metal that way? Ant-Man is thinking to himself. You think that the alien is got out, but he's not sure. Okay, she changed the board frightfully so she wore his gun. She has determination, strength of character. I wonder if she listen. And then he tells her to listen and ask no questions. Phone the FBI, ask for Lee Currents, and tell him what happened here. Then go to Henry Pym's laboratory. Immediately trust me and do as I tell you. And then she says, I do trust you. Then he has his ants flying back to his house. Then he gets big again. So she went, so not knowing that he's Ant-Man, she went to Dr. Pym's house and she wanted to get revenge or kill whatever. And then she showed up at his house, and then since he's Ant-Man, he knows everything. And then he's all like, you mean what you said? Because I know everything that you just told me, because I'm Ant-Man. Do you want to be partners? And then she says, yes, of course. Why would partners? Why would I say I want to get revenge and kill him? Yes, I can make you small as Ant-Man with my shrinking gas. And due to my research in cell specialization, I can give you wings, antenna. I can make you human wasp. Yes, Ant-Man and Wasp, we will find your father's murderer and bring justice to all who need it. What is your answer, Janet Van Dyne? And then she says yes. And then they get to work on cell specialization. I don't even know what that is. And then he starts shooting some beams at like in the corner of a room, showing her like what's gonna happen to her, but it doesn't even hurt her or harm her at all. Okay, and then she gets in her outfit. Wasp, and then she makes her wasp outfit. And then they start seeing the alien thingy. Okay, as he's telling her that that's the thing that killed her father, he's also telling her that there's there there's some buttons on her. There's some buttons that she can push to get to giant and then back to small. And then she says, I see. Then they go to small. Okay, then they go to the George Washington Bridge. Okay, and then Janet Van Dyne says she's already starting to fall in love with him. And Hank Pym cooks up an antidote in his science lab. Then he gets some bullets and puts it in the bullets. Then he gets out a rifle. Then they get small and try to pick up the rifle. Then they have the ants pick up the rifle and the bullet shells. And then here comes the alien towering over the city. And then Ant-Man is going to use the gun. And then Wasp says, "How can you load the gun and pull the trigger? Everything's so huge." Then he tells Wasp to stand by with shells. And then he shoots the gun. And then he shoots it again. And then the alien starts to deteriorate. And it's gone. Okay. We'd be better get back to the lab. And from now on, you must not display such emotion. It isn't proper. He's blushing and pretending that he didn't feel any emotion at all. And then he gets a phone call from the, I don't know, I think it's like the general. And then, oh yeah, from Lee Kearns. And then he says, "Hello, Lee Kearns, this is Ant-Man. The menace is over. The people can be brought back to their homes and building can resume." And then he starts to yell at Ant-Man. "Ant-Man, listen, I want to meet you, talk to you. We're both fighting the same things. We can help each other. Look, you can't keep on going at it alone." He's not going at it alone. He has Wasp now, so I don't know why he had to yell at him about that. Okay, welcome back to the channel, and we're gonna do Iron Man today. So I don't think there's anything I want to talk about at the first part. Like, first we did how Hulk. We talked about how Hulk is not usually gray, and there's an editing issue. And then we did Captain America and his shield. Talked about that, but I don't think there's anything I want to talk about Iron Man in this first part. I mean, yeah, there's like some things I want to edit in, like his outfit or something. I can do that, but like, I don't think there's anything I want to initially talk about at the first page, like I usually do. Okay, so we start with Tony Stark, which, sorry, I shouldn't be saying Tony Stark. It's first known in the comics, Anthony Stark. That's what they first call him. And then later on in the comics, um, everybody calls him Tony Stark, and his friends, and the Avengers, and his best friend, Captain America, calls him Tony Stark. But what we open up on in this panel is that what is known as from the movies and in the comics, which we're showing you here, is that he's a scientist and he's inventing something to open up this vault, and he's inventing something for Vietnam, and he's trying and he invented this thing to open up this vault thingy, and hold on. Okay, sorry, I said thingy. It's a magnet, and they're trying to get open this vault. And then it begins to budge open. And then he breaks it open. And then he was working on it for Vietnam, so they could use it for anything they wanted to. Okay. Okay, so now we get to this part where it talks about how, well, okay, so hold on. Look, it says Tony Stark, like I told you. But it gets to how it tells us, Tony Stark is a playboy, constantly in the company of beautiful, adoring women. And it starts to talk about how he is rich and everything. It says, he's the dreamiest thing. Well, this lady's talking, saying he's the dreamiest rockin'. Well, we're not talking about that. Sorry, I didn't mean to read that part. Okay, and then it says, yes, Anthony Stark is both, I don't know how to pronounce that word. So sophisticated and a scientist, a millionaire, and bachelor. So that's what I was trying to tell you. He's a scientist, and it talks about how he's a millionaire and a bachelor. So let's go back to this part and talking about how he was a playboy, constantly in the company of beautiful, adoring women. And then go back to this part. As much at home in the laboratory as in high society. Okay. Okay, so now that we're done talking about Tony Stark and that he's a rich playboy, philanthropist, and he's sophisticated, and he loves adoring women, everything. I mean, he's got a great life. Now let's go to this part. Artel really has its beginning halfway around the world in a South Vietnam jungle menaced by Wang Chu. Okay, so that's who we're going to be focusing on. The Red Gorilla Tyrant. Now, Wang Chu is the bad guy. And then he starts beating up these military type people. Actually, you know what? It's not the military type people. It's just everybody that gets in his way. Okay, and then Wang Chu says, "Is it over? Now let us plunder the town, for none can stop the victorious Wang Chu. Okay, and then here comes Tony Stark, or Anthony Stark, Tony Stark, whatever. Okay, so Tony Stark, like I said, Tony Stark comes in, and he has these army guys with him because Wang Chu already took out some of the other army guys. So, and some of these other army guys with him, so he has protection. And then he must have heard about the red guerrillas because it says the red guerrillas outnumber us in heavy artillery. So he must, I don't know, he must have heard about them or whatever. So that's why he has backup. Okay, so Stark didn't know about them, I guess. I guess he just came there because he he was okay, so it says Stark, he was delivering weapons because it says Stark, your weapons are everything we hoped for. Okay. Okay, and then he gets booby trapped. And then okay, and then one of the Reds find him, and then he brings him to Wang Chu so he can try to get a reward. Okay, so later at the Guerrilla Chief's headquarters, he finds some papers that tells him that he's a famous Yankee. And then he finds out that he has some shrapnel in his chest, or just like somewhere. And he's like, oh no, we can't operate. So he says that he has 1 week to live. Okay, Wang Chu's partner says, in a few days, shrapnel will reach his heart. Then he will die. Nothing can save him. And then Wang Chu says, bah, we can use his genius. And then Wang Chu will trick him into spending his last days on Earth working for us. Wang Chu says, we know you are an American weapons inventor. If you design powerful new weapon for me, afterwards I have surgeon save your life. And then Tony's thinking he's lying. If they could, they'd do it now. To be sure, I live longer enough to design weapons for them. And then they give him a room to where he can work on whatever he's gonna build. The Iron Man suit. And then Iron Man says, I'll build it alright, but it will be for me and purpose to keep me alive. Okay. Let's skip ahead here a little. Okay, then he gives him this old man to help him so it'll go a lot faster. Okay, then they finish it so Iron Man can. So, sorry, I always say Iron Man. So Tony Stark can use it. Okay, and then the old man saying that Wong Chu must be kept away so Tony can use it. And then the old man says death to Wong Chu, death to the evil tyrant. Okay, then Iron Man gets in the suit. And then he gets up. And then he says, the translators have sufficient energy. Now my heart is beating. Normally the machine is keeping me alive. And then he's having a hard time standing. Okay, then he goes outside to the courtyard. And then we see Wong Chu beating up some people like he was. And then Iron Man comes and faces Wong Chu, and then he says, have you never seen an Iron Man before? And then and then he picks him up and spins him around and throws him. Okay, and then he says, guards, open fire, destroy Iron Man. And then all the bullets are, like, I don't know, like, how to say it, like, paying off his suit. Or, yeah, I think that's a good word, paying off his suit. And then he says, it will take more than small arm fire to penetrate my cast iron body. And then he says, get grenades, bring bazookas, quickly, you fools, quickly. And then Iron Man says, I'll just reverse the charge on the magnetic turbo insulator. Okay, so the rats try to use bazookas on Iron Man, and then he reverses it, and then they get scared and start to run off. Wong Chu runs off to the top of an announced. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I was having trouble with my words. Okay, so Wong Chu runs up to the announce booth, and he starts announcing everyone to destroy announcing everyone to destroy Iron Man. And then Iron Man puts his flame to Wong Chu, and then he blows him up. Boom. And seconds later, Iron Man has recharged his batteries, and then I have set the prisoners free, and the Reds have fled in blind panic. It's all over now, prisoners. Yes, rest easy. You sacrificed your life to save mine. Have been avenged. Oh. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Hold on. I just wanted to say something. Um, the comic book version is so much better than than the movie version. I mean, yeah, the movie version is good, but they don't tell you how things happen. They just say that he's a scientist, he gets rich, he's a playboy, philanthropist, yada yada. Um, they don't say how he gets his sorry, I'm messing up again. They don't say how. Hold on, I gotta get you. They don't say how he gets the shrapnel in his chest. They just say, "Oh, the 10 rings did it," and they never show the 10 rings, and they never show the Mandarin until like the third movie, and then they say, "Oh, the Mandarin was just like this dude from prison." But anyways, they just like do like this big old thing that they just never show. What I'm trying to say is the movie version just didn't do it right. Didn't do it justice. The movies are good to the movies are good to watch. I mean, I'm not saying like don't go watch the movies, but this is so much better. You always gotta read the comics first, and then when you're watching the movies, you can be like, oh, I know how it happened. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about um, Hulk. Okay, so we're going to start here. So the reason Hulk is gray and not green is because when Stan Lee or Jack Kirby, whatever, decided when they drawed him and they printed him out um, for this, they had a printing issue and it was gray. So that's why he's not green for the first issue. Okay. Yeah, now he's blue here. So it's the same. It's the same reason. Okay. Um, Bruce Banner. Okay, this is Bruce Banner's lab. And this is the military place. Okay, so Bruce Banner and um, this is there's this guy named Igor. They're talking to each other, talking about how they're talking about talking about gamma rays and how they're testing on the gamma ray bomb. and how it can be dangerous to use it. Okay, now in this part, here comes in General Ross. He's the head of the army, and he's asking why there's a delay on working on the bomb. Okay, now General Ross is asking if Banner's gonna test the bomb or not, and then Banner replies back, "Of course, General Ross. Of course, General Ross. We're just testing every precaution with the powerful forces." Now General Ross is saying, "Powerful forces, blah blah. A bomb is a bomb. Trouble with." He's just saying that um, he has no guts, and then he's saying, and then General Ross says that if he was put in charge, uh, it would basically be done by now because he's the general of the army, and I don't know why he's saying that because he's not a scientist, but I think he's just saying that because he just wants it done. Anyways, next, and then Betty Ross is like, "Oh, Daddy, don't be so unfair. Most famous scientist is, I'm sure he knows what he's doing." And then General Ross says, "You keep out of this, Betty. This is men talk." The reason he says this is men talk is because he still thinks of her like a kid, and he says this is men talk because the adults are talking. Because he's a general, and Bruce Banner's a scientist. And then Betty says, "Don't mind." And then Betty says, "Don't mind, don't mind Thunderbolt. Don't mind Daddy, because he just got the nickname Thunderbolt Ross, and he's just trying to live up to the name." And then Bruce Banner says, "Thank you, Miss Ross." Okay, anyways, um, Bruce Banner says, "It's time for the count. Will you excuse me? It's time for the final countdown." And then Igor is like, "Listen, Banner, this is your last chance to tell me the secret of harnessing the gamma rays because he wants it for himself. I mean, who won it? And it isn't right for you to be the only one who knows." And then he says, "Sorry, Igor. Formulas are locked up in his room." And he says, you. And then he says, "You fool! You didn't look. You didn't have anyone look over your work. You don't have anyone check your work. You could kill the. Well, it's basically saying that you could kill the half of the continent." And then he's all like, "I don't make errors." And then he tells Edgar, "I'll talk to you later." Okay, now he sees a kid out there where they're doing testing. He's like, "Holy cow! What is that kid doing out there?" And then he's trying to get Igor to delay the countdown. And then he's all like, "You sure?" I mean, there's no way we can get out of this. And then Igor's thinking to himself, with a with a stroke with a stroke of luck, I have to do is keep my finger of the hold button, and it'll be the end of Bruce Banner. Because what he's thinking is, because he wants his work, and if Bruce Banner's gonna go out to save the kid, like where the bomb is, if he hits the button, that'll be the end of him. And then he goes and saves the kid, and then the kids are like, "Hey, what are you doing? My friends dared me. Now they're gonna think I'm chicken." And then Bruce Banner says, "We gotta get you out of here. There's a bomb." Okay, and now there's someone that's gonna hit the button for the bomb, their their test bomb. I'm pretty sure it was Igor. And then Bruce Banner says, "There, you're safe." And then he's all, "Ah!" And that's the gamma ray bomb that turns him into the Hulk. Yeah, you can see all the gamma ray. It's looking disgusting. Still more of that. And then Bruce Banner's still screaming. And then Banner's are like, "How am I still alive?" And then Rick Jones tells him that he saved him. And then he says that I got all this gamma radiation, and I'm surprised that nothing has happened to me. And then Bruce Banner's are like, "Oh, something strange. Head is throbbing. This must be the end." And then he starts to hear some static, and there's some click click sound. A lot of click click sound. Bruce Banner says it measures radiation. Listen to it. It's going wild. Okay, and then he changes into the Hulk. And then he shows Rick Jones. And then he's thinking to himself, "Why am I locked in here?" Trying to break out. And then he broke out. And then these army guys are driving towards him, and they're like, "Oh, what is that?" And Hulk takes out the car and everyone in it. Okay, and then he goes to hide. And then Rick Jones is like, "Hey, wait up! Don't leave!" And then part two. Then he's still hiding. He doesn't want the army men to find him. You know, kind of like doesn't want to be hunted down like an alien and be dissected. Then they keep on trying to find him. And then they're trying to figure out what happened. And then he reaches home and starts thinking about the formula that he made for the gamma ray. And you know, this is not like the movies, this is the actual stuff. So Hulk can actually think for himself and he can actually talk. Okay, so he heads for a small cottage, smashing all obstacles in his path. Then Rick Jones tries to hide him while they're walking past the guard people. The army men. Sorry, I said guard people. And then they walk up to the third cabin, and they're all like, "Oh, maybe that's where it should be." And then the man that's named Igor, which I feel like is the villain of the story, is in the cabin, whether think that it could be, and he's searching the cabin, searching and trying to find the formula before. I mean, he doesn't know that Bruce Banner turned into the Hulk and that Rick Jones and the Hulk are looking for the formula. So he doesn't know any of that So he doesn't know that it's kind of a race to look for the formula or any of that. So he's just kind of like a bad guy villain that I think. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I just think that he's a bad guy, and he just wanted to get um, Bruce Banner out of the way. He thought that the gamma ray bomb killed Banner, so he can buy himself some time to look for his notes. And that's what he's doing right now. And then, since he didn't know that the bomb didn't kill Banner, and all of what I just said, that the bomb didn't kill Banner, Bruce Banner turned into the Hulk, and there's a race to get to the formula notes, and Hulk just steps in, and he doesn't know because his back is turned, and he didn't know. And then he's all like, "Oh, there's an intruder." And then he's all like, "Well, you won't live to report Igor to the security police." And then he tries to shoot him, and then I don't really know what he's doing here. And then he grabs the gun, and then he squishes it and destroys it. And then Igor's are like, "Oh no, you're not human. What the hell are you?" And then he's all, "Human? Why should I want to be human?" And then Rick Jones comes and tells him to stop. And then Hulk says, "I'll put him down." And they find the secret report on Gamma Ray Bomb. And then he tries to tell him that he wrote it while he was Bruce Banner. But like I said, that he can think and talk while he's a Hulk, but he's just not smart. So he has no recollection of knowing who Bruce Banner is, or he doesn't know who Bruce Banner is, so he doesn't know that he's Bruce Banner. He just knows that he's the Hulk right now. And then the Hulk looks at the picture and he's all like, "That face, it's weak, it's soft. I hate it. Take it away." And then Rick Jones was like, "You can't hate it." And then Rick Jones tries to help him understand that the person in the picture was him before he changed into the Hulk. And then he starts to remember that it's the gamma ray bomb that turned him into this. And then Rick Jones is saying it would have happened to if you hadn't saved me. That's why I'm staying with you. And then he swipes him away and says, "Fool, I'm glad it happened. I'd rather be me than puny weakling in the picture. I don't want you with me. I don't need you." And then he starts to say that the world is mine. And then, because for some weird reason, he turns into the Hulk at night, and then when it comes light time, he turns back into Bruce Banner. And then Banner's all, "Oh, my brain is on fire. I can think again." And then the police were like, "This is the police. Open up. The Hulk should be in there. Where is he?" And then Betty Ross is like, "Dr. Banner. His clothes are all wrecked and everything." And then Rick Jones is all like, "That means you, Doc." So they were trying to find the Hulk, but they got Dr. Banner, and the Hulk was nowhere because he changed in the morning back to puny Banner. They looked everywhere and they couldn't find him. Rick Jones has a secret formula that Banner wrote down, and Igor was looking for, and then the army men came to capture Igor because, like I said, he's secretly the bad guy in this one, and he tried to kill. He tried to kill Banner, and he thought he could get rid of him by killing him with the gamma ray bomb. Anyway, so they captured him, and those are the notes that Rick Jones has. That Betty is there for some reason, and they keep thinking that Banner is the Hulk. And then the army people was like, the Hulk is like a bear. He's like a grizzly bear, all huge and everything. And then Banner gives the police guy his formula notes for safekeeping. And then Betty Ross is like, I'm sorry, Banner. I didn't mean to find you while we're looking in the middle of a search for a monster. Always trying to be in love with each other. Things are going on. And then he says, I just want peace and quiet. And then Rick Jones shows her the door. And then he says, I'll call you later. And then he just goes and sits and talks to Rick Jones. And then he says, it's not over, it's just the beginning with the Hulk. And then he says, remember when I become the Hulk at nightfall and return to my normal self at daybreak? But day doesn't last forever. I will soon be night again. It will soon be night again. And when sun sets, do I know I won't keep changing. And become the Hulk again. Okay, that was the first issue. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Welcome back to the channel, and this is the last Hulk one for a while until I do some more reading on Hulk. And then we got the Avengers to do, and then that will be done into like a whole compilation of a huge video for you guys so you guys can watch it. And then I think after that I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna be done with the Avengers stuff, just so I can read some stuff. I think just mostly after all of this that I've been doing, I think I'll just focus on the Spider-Man stuff. Yeah, because I've already read a bunch of Spider-Man stuff, so I'll do all the ones that I've already read for you guys. Okay, anyways, let's talk about the Metal Master. Okay, so it starts with a launch. So it has to do with some kind of launch of some kind. And like always, Bruce Banner is not there. And General Ross is getting mad. And he's saying, lucky for him, he's a civilian. If he were in my division, I'd have him. So he's just basically saying, I'd have him behind bars. And then um, Betty Ross is saying, um, oh, Dad, what if something happened to Bruce? And then Rick Jones is saying, strange, he's had plenty of time to change back from the Hulk and reach here by now. And then Rick Jones says that he wishes that he could tell Betty Ross that Bruce was the Hulk, but Bruce would just probably beat him up or something. Okay. Okay, so Rick Jones was wrong, and he didn't change back in time to get there. So, he was the Hulk for some reason. I don't know why. It just shows that he was a Hulk, and he needed to get back to his place. Okay, so he needed to get back to his place before it was too late. But now he doesn't have a chance because there's too many tanks. And jets. So anybody can spot him at this point. So the Hulk says, or Bruce Banner, whatever you want to call him, they gotta stay back. Why don't they keep away? I don't want to hurt anyone, but if they come any closer, if they attack me, it'll be too bad. Okay, so before they spotted the Hulk, or even got a chance to spot the Hulk, they heard this emergency alert horn, and they had to go back to base. Then the Hulk went back to his hideout. And he went back to being Bruce Banner. And Bruce Banner says, what happened? I'm Bruce Banner again, but I'm stronger and more powerful. Bruce turns on his TV and sees that his probe thing has melted. General Ross says, who's that? Where'd he come from? And the alien looking dude says, I'm the Metal Master. And he says, I come from the planet Astra, many galaxies away. I melted your puny rocket device through the power of my brain to show you how invincible I am. With the power of my brain, I can command and control each and every metallic atom. Okay, and then he starts to tell us why he came here. For time beyond measures, I have remained the galaxy seeking a planet which was rich in resources, which in metal a planet which I could rule. So basically, the reason why everybody else, every alien comes here. General Ross tells the army to shoot some rockets at him, and then he starts to disintegrate them. Okay, and then he says, I'll direct the remaining rocket to return to the base. And then General Ross and Rick Jones, the rocket in mine air. That guy really is unbelievable. Oh, unbeatable. Take cover! Then Rick Jones says if he can just get to the Hulk in time, the Metal Master will be finished and he will be beaten. Okay, so Rick Jones goes back to the cave or whatever it's called and finds Bruce Banner, and he gets turned back into the Hulk. And then, for some reason, he has Bruce Banner's head and not the Hulk's. Bruce Banner freaks out and thinks everyone's gonna know his identity. And then, for some reason, I don't know why, he has a Hulk mask and he proceeds to put it on. Okay, now the Hulk goes out and joins the Metal Master. Okay, Metal Master and Hulk start fighting with each other, and the Metal Master starts throwing metal at him, at the Hulk. Okay, the Hulk says, Mr. the Hulk, the ain't whimpering kind. Oh, Mr. the Hulk ain't the whimpering kind. Okay, so Metal Master says, you are more powerful than I thought, and then he makes a cage to put over the Hulk. Okay, then the Hulk breaks out. The Hulk tries to throw some metal at him. Then the Metal Master wipes him away. And then the Metal Master flies away. And then the army comes. They tried to take off his mask, or think he's wearing a mask. They're like, what the heck? We thought he was wearing a mask. Anyways, besides the whole everyone think he was wearing a mask. So the army picks him up and you guessed it, he's back in jail again. And then Oak tries to break out. Oak's still trying to break out, but he can't. And he says, I will get out, I will. No matter how long it takes, I'll get out. Now that the Hulk is in jail, the Metal Master is loose and he's terrorizing the city. Okay, now that we've seen Metal Master terrorize the city, we return to Rick Jones and a disappointed Rick Jones, and he says, "Heck, the whole world's in trouble, and there's nothing a cat my age can do about it." And his friend says, "Why not take the general's advice, Rick, and just stick to your education? That's what the rest of us are doing." And then he says, "Sure, it's okay for him to talk. He was never the Hulk's partner. How can I go to being an ordinary kid after something like that?" And then his other friend says, "Look, there's Rick Jones. Hey, Rick, come here. We've got something to show you." And wait up till you see what the gang's been doing. You'll flip, son. Sorry, Daddy-o, I ain't in flipping mood. Come on, Surplus. What have you got to lose? Okay, so, I don't really know the name of this because I kind of forgot. So they kind of set up this radio station, and it's like where they kind of help the Hulk. But I don't really remember the name. I'll have to like say it when I see it. Yeah. Okay, so that's what they do. That's it. He says that's it. That's what we'll do. Um, they help out the army, the police, and everybody, which is also includes the Hulk. And they name it the Teenage Brigade. And they just use their ham radios to keep in. Oh, what's the word? The Rick Jones uses the Teen Brigade to keep in contact with his friends, and they help out the police and army and Hulk. Just kind of like what I said. I just had to re-say it. Now the Hulk got free. Okay, so the Hulk got free, and then he turned back into Bruce Banner, so he could have some time off of being Hulk for like a couple minutes. Now he's a weak. Now he's weak Bruce Banner, and he's all like, "Oh, I can hardly stand. Everything's spinning around. Blah blah blah." Sorry, I didn't mean to say blah blah blah. Okay. Okay. In comes Rick Jones, and then Bruce says, "Help me." Rick Jones helps him. Oh. Okay. And then Rick Jones tells the Teen Brigade that Bruce Banner needs help and he and he has an angle on how to beat the Metal Master. He needs equipment. Okay, so they all go out and get the equipment that Bruce needs. Okay, so they come back with the blueprints. Okay, and then Bruce Banner wakes back or lays back up. Oh, sorry, lays back up. It's a stupid way to say it. He wakes back up and he begins to be the Hulk again. Now we go back to the Metal Master. And the Metal Master says, "How easy is it for me to hopelessly ignore their transportation, twisting the metal tracks of the railroads?" Okay, and then the army sends out more missiles. Then, just like before, the Metal Master is like, "Oh, they never learn," and then just sends them back to them. But all I need to do is strike through each one. Oh, touch it. Okay, and then as he destroys all of them, the people and they're parachuting down. There, the machine is finished. Open the door and get away. You bet, Hulk. Okay, now the Hulk has a big giant gun. And the Nerd Brigade tells the Hulk that the Metal Master has been sighted approaching Washington, D.C. Now, and then he uses the gun and he's jumping to the Metal Master. Okay. Now Hulk says that he's gonna blast the Metal Master down with that gizmo. The Metal Master says, "The Hulk, good, now I shall destroy you and for all with own weapon." And then he tries to, and Hulk starts to use the gun. And when he uses it, Metal Master says, "Now." Nothing is happening with his metal powers for some reason. General Ross is starting to shoot missiles to shoot him down. Meanwhile, for a long silent minutes, the Metal Master has hovered over the Hulk, unable to believe that he has failed at last until, "Alright, I let you stay there, tremble long enough." And then the Metal Master comes down and starts beating up the Hulk. And then the Hulk is starting to squeeze the Metal Master. And then the Hulk grabs the Metal Master and he says, "Don't hit me. Do anything but don't hit me." And then he turns everything back to the way it was. And then he goes back to where he came from, and Hulk says he's gone. We flicked him. Earth is saved. The Nerd Brigade praises the Hulk. And then the army tries to catch the Hulk. And then the Hulk jumps away. And then Thunderbolt Ross just says, well, forget about it. And then Hulk turns back into, well, Hulk was going to turn back into Bruce Banner, but he breaks down crying and says he hates Banner's weak body. Always wished I could stay as the Hulk, but now to be the Hulk, to always be haunted and feared. And in the Hulk's secret lair, I'm gonna have to stay hidden in this cave all my life. Hulk getting all sad. Starts to get angry, smashing stuff. Then he turns back into Bruce Banner. And then Bruce goes and sees Betty, and he says, I'm sorry I worried you, dear. Betty, dear. And then we all know that General Ross doesn't like it. And then they, let's see. And then they, I'm sorry. Okay. And then they go on a walk. That's the end. Okay. There's no more after these. That's why I have to continue reading. I don't know why it ends after what number is this? Number 6. Because for some reason they didn't think that the Hulk was a good enough comic book on his own, so they had a shelf. So they ended up shelving the Hulk series until they probably decided to bring it back whenever that was. But they ended up shelving the Hulk series because they didn't think he was a good enough series on his own. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Okay, welcome back to the channel. we're gonna do Thor. We're gonna talk about Thor today. Thor is a Norse god. He lives in Asgard. Okay, so that's all we're gonna do for the beginning. Okay, first off, it starts off with these alien plant people, or we could just call them plant people. Whatever. And they're trying to take over. Oops, sorry. Okay, I want to apologize for ahead of time because you're gonna see a lot of us zooming in and going out and in because we're not on our usual site. That's why you see download in the background and trying to hide everything. Sorry, I didn't mean to say site. I mean, we're not on our usual app. For some reason, on Marvel Unlimited, I can't get it to where we can do the comic book, the first one of Thor. So I went on Google, and this is what I found. Okay, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyways, we're starting out with these plant people, alien plant people, whatever, and they're trying to take over the world, or just trying to take over the plant-based world, or just trying to be plant people taking over the world, whatever. And okay, I'm gonna say this name, and everyone's gonna be like, "Who the heck is this?" Because everyone knows Thor for Thor. Okay, and then let me go to the next one. Dr. Don Blake, that's Thor. Just throwing that out there. Just telling you right now. So I don't have to do that in my editing process. Okay, so Dr. Don Blake is telling everyone that these plant people are real and they should be an issue. And then I don't know if these are Coast Guards or policemen. Okay, let's just say Coast Guard slash policemen are laughing at him and they're just saying, "Get away." And then Dr. Don Blake, I don't know if he thinks that they're coming after him or whatever. He goes into this cave. See? Cave. Right here. So he can get away from them. Okay, and then he finds Thor's hammer. And then it says, "Whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor." Okay, and then Dr. Don Blake has the power of Thor now. And he's holding up a boulder. Or rock. Sorry, I'm messing up. Messing up. He has a rock. And he's like, "Oh, it's like styrofoam." Like, sorry, I meant like cardboard. But whatever. Okay. Dr. Don Blake as Thor is messing around with the hammer. testing out its limits and powers. Okay, and then Dr. Don Blake says Earth's weapons are useless against the invaders, but perhaps what 20th century science can do. The god of thunder can. Strength a strange, a moment ago the sky was clear. Oh, sorry, and then I'm getting mixed up here. No, and then the invaders, the plant people say, strange. A moment ago the sky was clear, yet now there is a storm brewing. How can this be? Or weather instruments did not forecast. They're getting confused because um, Thor is making all four is doing it. And then the enemy is a long distance from me. Yet by using the mighty of Thor and whirling my hammer, speed of lightning, I may yet be to strike through the sky as the thunder God should. And then Thor releases his hammer. Okay, Act 3. Behold, Earthling, flying through the air to attack us. And then Thor comes down and one of the plant guys encases him in a cage so he can't get out. And then Thor breaks out. The plant And then the plant person's like, oh, the Earthling is too powerful to be captured alive. He must be slain. Prepare to just I don't know, something. Oh, I think it was like destroy him. Okay, and then Thor shows his hammer, and then they're crying about their weapons. Okay, and then they bring a robot out to help with Thor, to take out Thor. And then there is your foe. And okay, and then they tell him, there is your foe. Attack him. Destroy him. The monstrous looks like everything is in its favor except the hammer of Thor. Okay, then Thor starts whacking everything. He takes out the robot. Okay, and then the plant people get scared. Okay, and then Thor drives them away. And then they leave Earth. And then the army guys are like, look, the invaders are flying away. But why? What could have driven them off? I don't know. There's still one in sight. And they're still saying stuff. Except for that lame passerby with a gilded old cane. And then it says, oops, Well, well, it's a cinch that skinny jet is Earth's secret's weapon. The menace is ended now. It's time for me to go back to the States, taking with me the greatest power ever known to mortal men. The end. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.
Okay, we're finally here to the Avengers one. I know I've promised it so many times, and I've just had other videos to do. Like all those Hulk ones that I needed to get out of the way and do. Those Hulk ones that you guys like. That's what I meant to say. Um, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Um, I know I've said this so many times, but I'm finally gonna do this. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about the Avengers, and then I'm gonna put it in a compilation video with all those other videos that we've already talked about leading up to the Avengers. The first one was the Hulk video that we did because I don't know, I kind of feel like that was the first one. Anyways, yeah, first one was the Hulk, then Iron Man, then Ant Man, then Captain America. Actually, I think I still need to finish reading that first. Then Captain America. Now, actually, I don't think it matters if I was reading that. Yeah, because I mean, I could probably put like the first one in there. Yeah. Oh wait, no. Sorry. I don't know why I said Captain America. Yeah, because they're all on here. Yeah. So, um, Hulk, Iron Man. I said Captain America by accident. Um, Thor. That's what I meant to say. I said Captain America. Ant Man and the Wasp. The first five that are a part of this, I will put them all in a compilation, and this one will also be in that compilation. And it will just have all the edits in the videos. I don't know if I need to make any more edits. Maybe I might think about it. If I might think about it, I might need to. But it will have all the edits in the videos. So, yeah. Sorry, that just took a little bit to say, and I kind of got confused along the way. I kind of confused myself. Okay, Thor, Ant Man, Hulk, Iron Man, and the Wasp. Okay. Oh, I want to apologize. I know I usually start with saying, "Oh, we're going to talk about this," but I just wanted to start with that. So let's talk about the Avengers today. Okay, coming of Avengers. Okay, so it starts off with Sorry, hold on. Okay. Sorry, that was like one of the first pages. So like this is the first one here. Okay. Okay, so it starts off with Loki on this island here, and it says that he's in search of revenge. Okay, now before I continue reading, okay, well, hold on. I forgot one other thing. It says that accuse Thor that I am exiled to this barren island, ordered to remain by Odin, king of the gods. Okay, before we continue reading, I just want to say I have read, or at least tried to. Well, I mean, I'm not saying like I've tried to read. I'm not trying to say like I'm not gonna read or like not gonna try to read, but like I have like read, and I'm still reading. Um, like almost all of the first of the Thor comics because it's Journey into Mystery. That's the first. That's the first stuff you should be reading, and it does not say anything about Odin or Thor like banishing Loki to this island. I mean, in those comics, yeah, he's always doing like bad stuff, and then like he's getting like chained to like a wall or something, and then but it never shows like before the Avengers event, like the first one, like what I'm reading to you now. It never shows like how he got banished to this island. It never shows. That's all I wanted to tell you, okay? Okay, and then we have um, Loki looking over Asgard, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my revenge." Blah blah blah. No, just kidding. Okay, so it says by means of thought projection, I shall send my disembodied self past the rainbow bridge down to Earth. There I shall find some way to make Thor come back to Asgard will and battle him again and defeat him forever. So what he's mainly saying is that he wants to try to defeat Thor and just get rid of him. Okay, so Dr. Don Blake, we've covered this in the first issue of Journey into Mystery. So Dr. Don Blake is Thor. Remember, he has that wooden cane and yeah, maybe I might need to make some edits. I mean, in this issue, but like not in the compilation thing that I said I was gonna do. But I will make like some edits in this issue. But anyways, like I said, we gone over like his origin and the Journey into Mystery issue. That's why I didn't want to read this. Well, not read this to you guys, or like talk about it to you guys until I did the Journey into Mystery first. So what we went over, sorry, I know I'm going over a lot of things, probably getting you guys confused, probably getting myself confused. Anyways, what we went over was he, Dr. Don Blake, which is Thor again, he found the cane in the cave, which gives him the power of Thor. And I'm pretty sure later on in the comics, they probably retcon this whole thing where he's not a doctor anymore and he's just Thor. But for now, he's a doctor that uses a cane, and whenever he stamps it on the ground, like we learned in Journey into Mystery, he stamps it on the ground, and he turns in, and it gives him the power of Thor. Okay, so now Loki is watching over him and seeing like what he's doing and seeing like how he can get Thor or Dr. Don Blake, if that's how you want me to say it, over to Asgard. Because as it says, so long, dog. Feel a lot better. That's what he's saying to the kid saying, so long, doc. I feel lots better now. And then it also says, hit a few homers in today's game for me, Bobby. And then Loki says, bah, defeating Dr. Don Blake means nothing to me. Be a hollow victory. And Loki's also talking, saying, only by conjuring him as Thor will be revenged. Like we just talked about. He stamps the cane and becomes Thor. Thor my revenge be complete. But it will require a fearful menace to make the dual doctor become the mighty thunder god. I must scan Earth to find such a menace. Okay, so now what he's doing, he's trying to get Hulk to fight Thor. So it's kind of like what happened in the movie. He's gonna try to get Hulk to fight Thor, but it's like a different scenario. After long, okay, so now I'm the narrator talking. I'll be the narrator. After long hours of supernatural observation, Loki finds, and then Loki talking, a huge human figure flying through the air. How is it possible? And then Loki also says, so Loki's gonna be talking a lot, so I'll just talk for Loki. Okay, now he's not flying, he is covering in fantastic power leaps. Now I see it is the Incredible Hulk. Although there is no evil in his heart, mankind fears him because of his awesome strength. He shall be the perfect foil for me, or fool. Okay, now what happens here is like because okay, we haven't gone over like what Loki is and stuff because we haven't really done much of Thor's comics. We have because I think because okay, I'm getting really confused and confusing you guys. Okay, so what I meant to say was like we haven't really gone over like the Loki. I said Loki much, and he's in Journey into Mystery, the first of Thor, and I've just only done one of Thor's so far, and I think he's in like the third of his. So okay, so let me tell you about a little bit Loki real quick. Okay, so he was born a frost giant, and he's the and then he got taken in by um, Thor's father, and then oh sorry, not and then, and he's Loki's brother. His real name is Loki Laufenson, and he's the god of mischief. Okay, so we broken down like what Loki is, what Loki's all about. Okay, now what Loki's about to do, um, he's about to send some. Let's see what. Okay, so like I said, he's the god of mischief, so he can do like whatever he wants because he's magical. So he's gonna send a mental image on those railroad tracks or to Thor to make him pretend like he's seen something. Okay, so what he sends him is a stick of dynamite, and okay, and then he thinks he's seen a stick of dynamite, and as the train is approaching, the dynamite will explode and the tracks will destroyed. Perfect. He sees it, and now, not dreaming, it is only a non existent image. He leaps down to snuff it out before it can explode. Okay, so here's what happens. The mental image, or whatever the frick I said, it's fake. Yeah, so he's magical. He can do whatever the heck he wants. He made a fake image appear on the tracks. So it's fake, and Hulk sees the dynamite and he went to go grab it. So what's really happening is Hulk destroyed the tracks, not the fake dynamite. Because sorry, not the dynamite, because that was fake. So Hulk destroyed the tracks, and whenever the train comes, they're gonna blame him and not Loki, because they don't even see Loki. They don't even know that Loki's there. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. Charlie, stop the train. Something smashed the trestle up ahead. We'll crash. Oh, we'll crash. Impossible. We're going too fast. We'll never stop in time. And then, since Hulk destroyed the tracks, is gonna use that boulder to help. And then I don't really know who's talking here. Maybe Loki. And then someone says, "Haha!" Oh, okay, yeah, Loki. Haha! It worked just as I planned. When the train crashes, the Hulk will be blamed. He will become the most wanted man on Earth. Dr. Blake is certain to become Thor to join in the hunt. Little dreaming that is just what Loki wants. But wait, what is the Hulk carrying? that huge boulder. Okay, so Hulk puts the boulder under the tracks and he fixes it. And then he breaks it even more when the train goes by. Okay. And then Loki says he saved the train, but only I know that the humans will still think he tried to slay them. The hunt will be on, and Thor will live again, all because of Loki, the master schemer. Okay, and then Loki got what he wanted. The news reporters throwing bundles of newspapers out on out on the road or in the city. I can't really tell because it's just the car. Um, and it says the Hulk and attack on the train. And then Rick Jones is reading the paper. And then Rick Jones says, I be, he can't be, he'd never do anything like that, no matter what. Or would he? Oh, I think he says, I can't believe. Yeah, I just like cut off the word. Okay, since if you guys remember the last issue, I mean, I know this isn't like the last issue, like the next issue of the Hulk, but like if you remember let's just say if you remember the last issue of the Hulk, if you remember the last issue of the Hulk, Rick Jones created the Teen Brigade, and he told them all about uh, Bruce Banner, and they liked the Hulk. Well, he told them all about Bruce Banner and the Hulk, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we'll help the Hulk." And then, within minutes, Rick Jones summons the members of his newly formed Teen Brigade, a group of. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to read that part. If the Hulk is innocent, they say if the Hulk is innocent, he needs help fast, and if he's guilty, it'll take more than the army to stop him. We've gotta contact someone with equal powers like the Fantastic Four. So they do contact people. Well, they try the Fantastic Four at first, but they can't get the Fantastic Four. But they do contact people, and then oops, sorry. Okay, they tried contacting the Fantastic Four, but then Loki interferes, and they end up contacting. Sorry, didn't mean to do that there. End up contacting Thor. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Sorry about that. And Iron Man. But they don't know that. because they still think they're contacting the Fantastic Four. Then they get the Fantastic Four and they say this: "We've just intercepted a message from you, Rick. It was roaded, roadcast on the wrong wavelength somehow. Pooey, every time there's something heavy to be lifted around here. Oh, Petey Boy gets a call on that blasted radio. Oh, Pretty Boy. Ben Grimm, you know you get Mike right every time you have to use it. Okay, besides that, they also say we're wrapped up in other case now, son, but according to my calculations, your message should be picked up by some others who can help you. If you don't get help soon, radio back and let me know. You you kidding, Reed? Oh, and then no, you're kidding, Reed. Who else could ever do what we can do? And then after their um, radio call with the Fantastic Four, um, Thor shows up, and then keep wanting to say Captain America. Iron Man shows up, and Ant-Man and the Wasp show up. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp say, "We heard that you need help, boys. It certainly looks as though you're going to get it. This is the closest first Thor, then Iron Man, and now sorry, then sorry, I meant to say hold on. Okay. Then Rick Jones says this is the coolest first Thor, then Iron Man, and now Ant Man and the Wasp. It's more than we dared hope for." Okay. Now Loki says oh sorry. Um the narrator says, "But back in Asgard," and now Loki says, "Bah, this complicates things for me. I only want to find a way to lure Thor up here. I am not interested in those others." Okay. Thor also, sorry. Loki also says, "Thor is at the window now. If I move quickly, I may still succeed. I'll create a mental image of the Hulk and make it run past Thor's field of vision." Okay, and then Thor says, "I thought I saw it is the Hulk." Okay, then Thor, "No need for me to disturb the others. No matter how fast you can leap, I can always fall. And by hurling my mighty hammer and holding on to the unbreakable thong." Strange, he moves as though he hasn't seen me, as though he is unaware of anything. Okay, and then Thor throws his hammer and he misses. He sees just a projection, mental projection. Okay, Thor knows it's Loki, and then he does what Loki wants him to. He goes to Asgard. Okay, I think. Okay. All right, the mess. Okay, Hulk. All right, the mess. Don't care who knows who I am. Soon as I wipe this stupid makeup off, I'm gonna rip this place apart with my bare hands. What I have got to fear nothing I can hurt the Hulk. Then Ant-Man and the Wasp, they say, then as they start a credulous audience, ridicules and panic. I've done it. We've brought him onto the open now. Every second counts. Lower him under the trapeze. I'll do the rest. Don't let me down, Henry. I won't want him for a permanent playmate. Okay, then the wasp flies around him. Okay, then Hulk gets this thing to dust her out. And she's like, Henry, help! And Hulk grabs her up. And Hulk says, no one's gonna save you now. Then Iron Man comes and starts beating him up. And then they put him in the net. And then he starts fighting out in the net. Okay, now Hulk is running away from Iron Man. Oops, sorry. And Iron Man is flying, trying to get the Hulk. The Hulk is trying to get Iron Man now. And they start to beat each other up. Back to Thor. Okay, Thor talks to Odin, Lord of Gods, grant the son permission to visit Loki on the Isle of Silence, that I may learn if he is responsible for some deviltry on Earth. We grant thee permission, beloved Thor, but hark to these words. Though you dang it. Though you be the son of my heart, Loki too is my son. I cannot interfere in what transpires between you. I understand, Father. Okay, now Thor's on a boat and he's going to the island where Loki is. Okay, now Loki throws some rock at Thor. Okay, Loki and on shore A gloating figure survives the now silent sea. He crafts an empty. He is nowhere to be seen. I have defeated him so. Okay, and then Thor creates this tornado out of water and throws his hammer at Loki. Okay, and then he puts Thor into ice. Okay, now Thor says, "You were expecting me, Loki? That means you have committed some fool deed knowing I would come to avenge it." Okay, he says, "Avenge it I shall," and he breaks the ice. Okay, and then Thor says, "Nothing can save you from me now, prince of evil." And then Loki says, "Stop, stop, accused brother. Do you remember the name of this isle and the ones from whom it was named?" And then some wicked arm starts to grab Thor. "The silent ones who live below, the natural enemies of the gods, the trolls." And then Loki says, "You have been away from Asgard so long that you might have forgotten, Thor. Here we are all immortals. We are all super powerful. And nothing that lives in Asgard or on Earth can break the grip of a troll. It is from them that the Earth legend of the old man of the sea was born." Okay, and then the troll tries to bring him down to wherever they are, but Thor won't have it. He taps his hammer on the ground and he throws the troll back down. And then Loki says, "Stop, Thunder God. You have not defeated Loki yet." And then he creates another mental image to trick Thor. A bunch of mental images. And then Loki's all like, "Which is the real Loki?" And then he spins his hammer and he makes them all go back. And all of his mental images go off the cliff and he's just hanging there. Okay, and then Thor holds up his hammer and like suctions Loki to his hammer. And then Loki says, "Wait, stop! Where are you taking me? What are you going to do?" Thor says, "With no Odin's permission, I shall bring you to Earth. There you will find others who are waiting for you, others almost as powerful as I." Okay, Hulk is still running. Iron Man's still trying to capture the Hulk. And then he asks the plane people, "Have you seen the Hulk?" And then they're pointing the way that he went. Okay. Iron Man finally catches up to the Hulk. He finds him in a tire place where they make tires. He shoots the tires at the Hulk, and then the Hulk shoots like some huge wrench looking thing, like they put in the tires. And then that kind of messed up Iron Man. Oh wait, no, sorry, he caught it. And then Iron Man made like this weird slingshot looking thing, and he shot it at the Hulk, and he caught him with it, and he went right through the wall. Okay, now that they're done fighting, Thor comes from Asgard. Okay, and he says, "This is Loki, my arch enemy. It was he who planned the train wreck. It was he who arranged for the Hulk to be blamed in order to make me appear so that he could trap me." I think this is Loki or Iron Man. Okay, hold on. So Loki gets out of Thor holding him, and then Loki says, "I'll give you 10 seconds to leave, taking Iron Man with you. Then Thor and I will resume our battle. If you remain, you are doomed." And then Loki tries to escape. Okay. And then, I don't know who's saying this. "This is it. My little allies sealed the chamber door tightly. Even Loki can't escape from a lead mine tank." And then I guess they captured him. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp. "Loki cannot remain radioactive for more than another few minutes, after which I shall open the tank and turn him to where he belongs. Wait, before we separate, the Wasp and some things to say." Okay, and then Iron Man and Thor have what to say. "Each of us has a different power. If we combine forces, we could be almost unstoppable. Work as a team? Why not? I'm for it." And Thor says, "There is much good we might do. Might do." And Hulk says, "I'm sick of being haunted and hounded. I'd rather be with you than against you. So whether you like it or not, I'm joining the hey, what are you calling yourselves?" And then I don't know who's talking here. "That's right, we need a name." Okay, and then at the end of this, they come up with a name. They say, "Or nothing, that is the Avengers." And then they just say, "Oh, we'll never be beaten, for we are the Avengers." Okay, so that was it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.